History review. Social Darwinism. What is social Darwinism? Social Darwinism is the theory that individuals, groups, and people are subject to the same Darwinism laws of selection. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Okay, so do you remember Darwin? You know, the guy that said that we come from monkeys and we evolved into these fine humans we are right now? Well, he also came up with a theory called natural selection. Natural selection is when organisms that adapt to their environment tend to survive longer than those who don't. For example, say two cats go to Antarctica. One of them grows hair and survives in the cold. The other one doesn't and dies. And there's natural selection for you. Hey, don't you ever get tired of saying so much stupidity at once? No. So social Darwinism revolves around the same ideas as evolution, but instead of organisms and their environment, they worry about society and how some people thought they were better than others. It was mostly used in the late 19th, early 20th century when they wanted to justify political conservatism, imperialism, and racism. They also wanted to decrease reform and intervention. If you don't know what half of those words meant, neither did I. Okay, so political conservatism is saying pretty much we should keep everything traditional, you know. The man is the head of the family, and the women need to cook and this and that. Like everything should be traditional, like the typical stereotypes. That's what political conservatism is. Imperialism is pretty much conquering other territories so they become yours. Racism is, well, you already know what racism is. Reform is a change in politics, and intervention is trying to stop something. Alright, let's go back to social Darwinism. Social Darwinism is a theory that a certain group of people is better biologically than another type of people and should therefore have power over them and be able to control them. Okay, next meme. So social Darwinism was not made by Charles Darwin, it was made by his brother, Herbert Spencer. In fact, it was Herbert the one that came up with the saying, survival of the fittest, and not Charles Darwin. So pretty much Herbert Spencer said that the people that have the most resources and the most power will survive or live better than the others. Power is actually a pretty funny word. Not only is it a song by Kanye West, but it's also the key word of a school of thought in sociology. Okay, so this is where we dive deeper into social Darwinism and start talking about sociology. Sociology is like psychology, but instead of the individual, it's a group of people. Okay, so sociology has three schools of thought. There's functionalists, conflict, and interactionists. Okay, so functionalists worry about big societies, and they pretty much worry about social structures such as the family, the school, the government, and religion. Conflict also worries about big groups of people, and they worry about who has the most power and the power differences between certain groups of people. And last one, the interactionists worry about small groups of people, and they worry more about like the mind, kind of like psychologists, but it's just a group of people. You might be thinking to yourself right now, why are we learning about sociology when we're supposed to be learning about social Darwinism? You know what, I was thinking to myself the same thing, but then I remembered this video has to be pretty long for such a basic concept like social Darwinism, so we're just gonna keep it going. Social Darwinism is pretty important because unlike other theories, it changed all three of the schools of thought, and it changed the social structures, the balance of power, and the way individuals had to live their lives. Social Darwinism has affected pretty much every society at one point or another in history. One of those societies is the United States in the 1870s. Many people in the United States believed that the American businessmen were the ones at the top of the food table when it came to social Darwinism. The thinking that some people were better than others biologically certainly attracted a lot of people, but not American businessmen, since they were like, nah bro, we're fine. We're not at the top of the food chain. In fact, most American businessmen didn't like the idea of social Darwinism and instead gave millions of dollars to schools, hospitals, parks, and many other institutions. Go American businessmen. Alright, let's go back to social Darwinism. Okay, so think about it, okay? A group of people believes they're biologically better than someone else or another type of persons. Who does that remind me of? Oh yeah, Hitler. So what happened in Germany in the 1940s is an extreme version of social Darwinism. Well, the Nazis believed that they were biologically better than the Jews and then ended up blaming them for the economic problems Germany was having and ended up scapegoating them, and, you know, the Holocaust happened. Germany also said that if you didn't have blue eyes and you weren't blonde, you weren't German. So as I said before, Germany went through an extreme version of social Darwinism, also called as fascism. And you know who else went through fascism? Italy. Italy were the OGs of fascism. And Mussolini was the first one in the 20th century to say, oh, we are better than this type of people and we need to get rid of them and we need to return to our past glory. This led to other people, Germany, to follow the same ideals and ultimately led to World War II. So yeah, social Darwinism had its fair consequences in world history. So yeah, it changed the economy of a lot of countries like the US, the UK, and it transitioned them into laissez-faire, which basically meant that the government had less power over the commerce. Sadly, social Darwinism gave the wrong ideas to the wrong people who basically believed in extreme nationalism, who wanted to conquer other places and kill a bunch of people. And you know, it resulted in a massive world war that ended up in like 70 to 85 million casualties. Anyway, after the pressure time, I think we should end on a happy note. PewDiePie is still in front of T-Series, but the gap is decreasing, so you should subscribe to PewDiePie.